Hi there! If you're receiving this video, it's because we have a mediumistic reading very soon. Yay! First of all, thank you so much for sharing your time, your energy, and your trust with me for this reading. I do not take this lightly, so when we meet for the reading, I'm gonna be here in this room, which is my favorite room of the house. It's my office and my library with all my beautiful books. And I'll ask that before the reading, you go to a room that is a little bit more quiet, so there's not a lot of noise, a lot of interference, and a lot of distractions that could take you away from the reading and that connection, because that could rob you from the experience of fully immersing yourself into the connection with the spirit that is trying to communicate. I take a lot of care into the work that I do. I'll always do my best to bring the most clear messages that I can from spirit to you. I'm sharing this video just to make sure that I'm clarifying what could be expected in the reading so you don't get too anxious, too nervous, or too afraid. The way that it works is the reading will take about 45 to 1 hour. So before the reading, I'm always going to put the intention of connecting with a spirit that can bring clarifying information. That could be a message of healing or love or support. It should never be a negative experience. And I will connect, so I will raise my vibration. The spirit will lower theirs. We're going to meet in the middle, basically. And then I'm going to start getting impressions from the spirit. And those impressions will come in the form of evidence. So that is why it's evidential mediumship. And I'll start sharing with you what are the evidences that I'm getting so we can identify who that spirit could be. And once you identify who the spirit is, we will then move to the message portion of the reading. And then the message is what is the message that the spirit wants to share with you. I will do my best to get myself out of the way and be a clear vessel so you can literally get that clear connection between you and spirit. The medium's job is never to influence the reading or have opinions or put their rational brain to work during the readings. Their job is to literally be in the middle and connect one point, you guys, with the spirit. And we have to do that in the best way that we can and interpret the information and the impressions that we get, interpret that in the best way that we can. The way that this happens is once I have my vibration high and I'm connected and I can link to a spirit, I'll start getting impressions that are very subtle information in my mind that is very similar to daydreaming. This can look like me seeing images in my mind, hearing things in my mind, smelling things in my mind, feeling things in my body, emotion or physically. And I would get all this information, I will interpret all of that, and then I'm going to share with you who is the spirit and what are they here to share. What do they want to say? It's important to remember that not every spirit is ready or able to share any information with us. Some spirits are not in the right time to do that, they're not prepared to do that, or simply they just cannot, they don't have the capacity of communicating in a clear way. And we don't want to bring messages that are confusing to any seer, so that is why we always focus on the intention of connecting with someone that can bring that information very clearly, so there are no questions, no doubts about who that could be and if things make sense or not. That's why we cannot choose who is the spirit that is coming, because we're basing it off and putting the intention of bringing someone that is clear, not necessarily any person that we might want. Not everyone is the best communicator, and sometimes it's simply just not the time to do that. If you really want to hear from someone, I can try my best after the first spirit links in, when we do that reading, I can try to connect with someone at the tail end of that reading, but just know that it's not always possible to do that. Okay? If you ever heard scary stories or bad experiences that people had with other mediums, a lot of times that could be because either the medium was potentially not doing a great job, they could be lying about what they were getting, they could be misinterpreting what they were getting, or maybe they were simply connecting with someone else and not really the spirit that you wanted to hear from. So keep that in mind. Not every medium takes the responsibility that is needed and don't really take into consideration of the weight that their words can carry and how can that affect the people that they are reading for. Sometimes for the rest of their lives. And unfortunately, a lot of times that could turn into traumatic experiences to the seer who maybe had one reading 10 years ago and never forgot about it because the words were so heavy or they were not quite ready to receive that information. So be careful with who you choose to trust. And because of that, I'm very thankful that you chose to put your trust on me. I'm honored to share my time and energy with you and your loved one who would like to connect with you in spirit. All I'm going to ask from you is to please do not share anything with me. Don't share any information about the spirit, or who would you like to hear from, or who do you think this person could potentially be, or the spirit could potentially be. Because if you start sharing, my rational brain will kick in, and that could get in the way of the fluidity and the clarity of that message in the reading. So for that reason, please, during the reading, just say yes, no, or maybe. Just 3 words, nothing more. After we finish the evidential part and the message part, we'll be closing the reading and opening for feedback. And then I'll be really happy to hear what was the influence of the spirit, what was the connection, what were the points that made sense, the points that potentially were not that clear. We could open for questions or doubts as well if you want a bit more clarification on anything. If you want more clarification, the end of the reading will be the time to do that. Okay, I'm excited for the reading. I'll see you then. Please be punctual, arrive on time, because I'll do the same. I value my time in the same way that I value your time. You don't have to do anything, just bring your beautiful self. I hope this was clarifying. Let me know if you have any questions or if anything it's a bit confusing. We can definitely talk a little bit before the reading for further clarification. That's it for now. I don't want to make this video too long. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.